Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the time is now 11 a.m. In accordance with the Corporate Affairs Commission guidelines in holding annual general meeting of companies using proxies in line with COVID-19 protocols in accordance with Article 8.6 of the Articles of Association of the company, the meeting is considered duly convened, subject to confirmation of same by the registrars of the company. It is important to note that this proceeding is being streamed live in the company's website and in all its social media platforms. Will the registrar kindly confirm the quorum has been formed?
Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Chairman and distinguished shareholders. Currently, we have 432 proxies and 10 shareholders here in person. All the total, both proxies and shareholders, we have 442, having 7,962,238,107 units of Consolidated Hallmark shares, representing 73.45% of the total shareholding of the company. So I believe a quorum has been formed. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mrs. Osagwe. I therefore have the pleasure of welcoming you to the 26th Annual General Meeting of your company for the financial year ended 31st December 2020, and to declare this meeting duly convened. All stand for the national anthem, please. Thank you. What's the opening prayer? We call on Alhaji Idris to give us the opening prayer.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. O Allah, as you have guided us from our respective houses to come to this meeting, despite the rain, we urge you to request that you guide us to have a successful meeting. O Allah, you've guided this company over the years. We've recorded successes and we are still recording more successes. O Allah, we have no strength, we have no wisdom except that which you have given to us. And we beseech that you continue to guide and protect us such that the company will go even higher and higher and higher beyond the expectations of every one of us. O Allah, as we discuss the affairs of the company for the year that ended 2020, we urge that we request that you give us continuous guidance so that the end of this year will also be better than the previous years and years to come. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, Alaji. Going to the introductory phase of the meeting. My name is Mr. Obin Ekezie, the chairman of our company, and I'll call on other directors, the company secretary, the chairman of the statutory audit committee for the financial year 2020, the external auditors, and representatives of regulatory bodies to introduce themselves.
My name is D.F. Fekuha, the Group Managing Director of the company. Thank you.
I think your mic is off already. It's not on.
No one.
It's on now. It's on now. Yeah. Next is Dr. Lai Fatna is here. So Dr. Lai Fatna is joined us virtually.
Yes.
He joined us virtually.
Can it be viewed?
Uh-huh.
Can it be viewed? Can, huh? Sorry? Okay, make that. Let's take others.
Let's take others.
Let's take others. Sorry, brother. Yeah, something is not showing. It's not showing. We'll take the regulator. Okay.
Good morning. Esteemed shareholders, my name is Rachel Ifana, I'm the company secretary.
Can we take? Yeah.
My name is Ahmed Jerome, I represent the National Insurance Commission. My name is Ben Olusoy. I represent the SEC.
Good morning. My name is Joshua Hanson. I represent SI. Good morning. My name is Tony Anthony, Chairman.
My name is Maxima Samuel-Sendo. I represent Registered Registrars and Public Services.
I think that's it. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to inform all members that notwithstanding that this meeting is holding by proxy, in accordance with Section 3018 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, the Register of Directors' shareholding is available for inspection throughout the meeting. Notice of meeting. I now call on the Company Secretary to read the notice convening this meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and esteemed shareholders.
Is it on?
It's on, yeah.
Why were you holding this?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and esteemed shareholders. Before I read out the notice, I wish to confirm
Maybe you can.
that the notice convening this
Okay, you
meeting
can pull down your.
was circulated to everyone entitled to notification in accordance with the Companies and Allied Matters Act.
Okay.
I also confirm that the instruments appointing proxies have been properly executed and lodged with the company. Notice is hereby given that the 26th Annual General Meeting of the members of Consolidated Hallmark Insurance PLC will be held on the 2nd of September 2021 at 11 a.m. prompt at 4 Point by Sheraton, Lagos, Plot 9 and 10, Block 2, Onirichi Tesi Estate, Victoria Island, Lagos, to transact the following business. Ordinary business. 1, to lay before the members the audited financial statement for the year ended 31st December 2020, together with the reports of the directors, auditors, and audit committee thereon. 2, to re-elect a director. 3, to reappoint the auditors. 4, to authorize the directors to determine the remuneration of the auditors. 5, to disclose the remuneration of managers of the company. 6, to elect members of the audit committee. Special business. 1, to approve the remuneration of the directors for the year ending 31st December 2021, dated this 30th day of July 2021 by order of the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Secretary. The Chairman's statement and that of the Group Managing Director are contained on pages 22 to 25 and 26 to 29 of the annual report and accounts respectively. Having circulated the annual report and accounts earlier to all shareholders, may I propose that we take these statements as read, if that is acceptable to you all. Are there any objections to the Chairman and Group Managing Director's statement being taken as read? Thank you very much. Although you are graciously permitted that my report, that of Board of Directors and our Group Managing Director be taken as read, I would like to draw your attention to some pertinent issues mentioned in my statement. As we are all aware, the 2020 financial year was a tough one, with the COVID-19 pandemic almost bringing the entire world to its knees. Operations of most businesses were significantly affected by the widespread lockdown. There were also issues of the fall in crude oil prices, exchange rate of the naira, and the depletion of the foreign reserves of the country. Despite all of these numerous challenges, your company was not only able to remain in operation, but has continued to thrive. Thus, in line with our desire to continually ensure appreciable returns to you, our shareholders, the Board of Directors has recommended a total interim dividend of 216.8 million naira. This implies that an interim dividend of 2 kobo per ordinary share of 50 kobo, subject to appropriate withholding tax, will be paid immediately after this AGM to shareholders whose names appear in the register of members as at the close of business on Friday, August 13, 2021. Please rest assured that we remain committed towards regular dividend payments to our shareholders in appreciation of your faith in the company. I would like to talk about the importance of technology to our business. The recent events in the world and in the country have shown that things can no longer be done the way they used to be. Any company that must survive and continue to thrive must be ready to adopt technology. The only reason your company was able to overcome the numerous challenges in the last financial year was because it leveraged heavily on technology. It's important to not only sustain the tempo, but also to improve on it, and we urge you, our esteemed shareholders, to continue to support the company in its quest to get better. I'm also delighted to inform you that we have been granted an operational license by the National Insurance Commission to operate a micro-life insurance subsidiary. The company has commenced full operations. We trust that with your continued support, your company will emerge a stronger, better, and more formidable player in the sector, adequately prepared to meet the growing needs of our rapidly expanding clientele and with the capacity to retain a higher proportion. Thank you. Move on to the auditor's report. The next item on the agenda is the report of the external auditors of the company's financial statements for the year ended 31st December 2020. May I invite the representative of SIAO Chartered Accountants to present their report.
Good morning, the directors, the managing director, the board of directors, the chairman, board of directors, the regulators here present, other directors, and also the shareholders of Consolidated Hallmark Insurance PLC. My name is Joshua Ansa, and I'm here with my colleague, Tunji Oyalade. Both of us are from SIAO Chartered Accountants. We are the auditors that were appointed to audit the accounts and books of Consolidated Hallmark Insurance PLC and its subsidiaries for the year ended 31st of December 2020. Our report is contained on the financial statements from pages 54 to page 58. I plead with the shareholders and the board of directors, please, if I will be permitted to take page 54 and then page 58. Please, is permission given? Thank you so much, sirs. Page 54, our report. Independent auditors report to the members of Consolidated Hallmark Insurance PLC, report on the audit of the consolidated financial statements for the year ended 31st of December 2020. Opinion. We have audited the consolidated financial statements of Consolidated Hallmark Insurance PLC, the company, and its subsidiaries, all together the group, which comprise the consolidated statements of financial position as at December 31, 2020, and the consolidated statement of comprehensive income, consolidated statement of changes in equity, and consolidated statements of cash flows for the year then ended, and notes to the consolidated financial statements, including a summary of significant accounting policies. In our opinion, the consolidated financial statements give a true and fair view of the consolidated financial position of Consolidated Hallmark Insurance PLC and its subsidiaries as at December 31, 2020, and of its consolidated financial performance and consolidated cash flows for the year then ended in accordance with International Financial Reporting Standards, IFRSs, applicable and in the manner required by the Financial Reporting Council Act 2011, Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, the Insurance Act 2003 of Nigeria, the Investment and Securities Act 2007, and relevant NICOM circulars. Basis for opinion. We conducted our audit in accordance with the International Standards on Auditing, ISAs. Our responsibilities under those standards are further described in the auditor's responsibility for the audit of consolidated financial statements section of our report. We are independent of the group in accordance with the International Ethics Standards Board for Accountants Code of Ethics for Professional Accountants, that is the ISBA code. And we have fulfilled our other ethical requirements in accordance with the ISBA code. We believe that the audit evidence we have obtained is sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for our opinion. Key audit matters. Key audit matters are those matters that, in our professional judgment, were of most significance in our audit of the consolidated financial statements of the current period. These matters were addressed in the context of our audit of the consolidated financial statements as a whole and informing our opinion thereon, and we do not provide a separate opinion on these matters. The following key audit matters were identified. The key audit matters are on page 55 and the rest. And so please turn to page 58. Page 58, report on other legal and regulatory requirements, contravention of regulatory guidelines. The company did not contravene any regulatory infraction during the year. Compliance with the FRC guidance for reporting the effects of COVID-19 on business operations. The group complied with the guidance provided by the Financial Reporting Council, FRC, for reporting the impact of COVID-19 on its operations. Also, we confirm that we have obtained sufficient and appropriate audit evidence regarding going concern applicability. We conclude, based on the audit evidence obtained up to the date of the auditor's report, that no material uncertainty exists about the group's ability to continue as a going concern. Compliance with the requirements of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020 and Nigerian Insurance Act 2003. The Companies and Allied Matters Act and the Nigerian Insurance Act requires that in carrying out our audit, we consider and report on the following matters. 1, we have obtained all the information and explanations which, to the best of our knowledge and belief, were necessary. I think we take that spot again so that it can be captured. Okay. The Companies and Allied Matters Act and the Nigerian Insurance Act requires that in carrying out our audit, we consider and report to you on the following matters. We confirm we have obtained all the information and explanations which, to the best of our knowledge and belief, were necessary for the purpose of our audit. In our opinion, proper books of accounts have been kept by the group so far as appears from our examination of those books. And the group's statements of financial position and profit or loss and other comprehensive income are in agreement with the books of accounts. This report was signed by Joshua Ansah, the engagement partner, and was signed on behalf of SIAO Chartered Accountants on the 26th of February, 2021. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Joshua Ansah. Now, may I invite the chairman of the Statutory Audit Committee, Dr. Tony Anonyai, to present the committee's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. May I please permit me to just stand on the existing protocols and custodies that have been extended already. I am standing on behalf of the members of the Audit Committee, the Statutory Audit Committee of our company, Consolidated Hallmark Insurance PLC. And our members include Mr. James Emadoye, a shareholder representative, Chief Simon Oketiro, shareholder representative, Prince Ben Onoha, a non-executive director of the company, Mrs. Adebola Odukale, a non-executive director, and Mr. Shrabu Abubakar Idris, MNI, an independent non-executive director. This report is read to the members of the Consolidated Hallmark Insurance PLC. In accordance with the provisions of Section 404, subsection 7 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, we, the members of the Audit Committee of Consolidated Hallmark Insurance PLC, having carried out our statutory functions under the Act, hereby report as follows. We have reviewed the scope and planning of the audit for the year ended December 31st, 2020, and hereby confirm that they were adequate. The group's reporting and accounting policies, as well as internal control systems, conform to legal requirements and agreed ethical practices. We are satisfied with the management responses to the external auditor's findings on management matters for the year ended December 31st, 2020. Finally, we acknowledge and appreciate the cooperation of the management and staff in the conduct of these duties. This report was signed by me on February 22nd, 2021, on behalf of the committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tony Anoniai. The audited financial statement for the year ended 31st December 2020 commences from page 78 of the annual report, and the report of the directors is as stated from page 33 of the annual report, while the auditors and the statutory audit committee reports have been presented earlier to you all. In accordance with the CAC guidelines, shareholders were requested to send their questions to the company's address at 266 Ikorodu Road, Obanikoro, Lagos, or by email info@chiplc.com, latest 26 August 2021, so the company secretary could collate them. They will be read out and answered, but before that is done, I would like to give our physically present shareholders representatives the opportunity to ask any questions they may have so that all can be addressed. Who's there? Mr. Frank. May I ask Mr. Francis Udubo if you have any questions?
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Mine is not a question, but a commendation. Like the chairman read out, last year, 2020, was a challenging year, the year of COVID. However, the performance of the company stands out with an EPS of 6.9 cover. Despite the challenges of last year. I will state that the management and the director keep it up as they are doing. I'm hoping that this year will be a better year, 2021, since things are beginning to open up. So I pray and say that you continue to sustain the effort so that our company will continue to grow more and more. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Bola Temowo, do you have any questions or comments?
Morning. Mine is just a comment. Just to commend the entire board members and the management of the organization for the laudable work they've done, more especially in the area of the branding, because the brand, is the brand right now is well received in the industry, and I will just encourage them to keep up the good work. Thank you.
Much. Like to ask the company secretary, do you have any questions from Consolidated?
Some questions came in before the 26th of. Some questions came in before the 26th of August 2021, and those questions have been duly
No.
I try to push it, it's not. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We received some questions before the 26th of August 2021, and those questions have been duly attended to by management. Thank you.
Thank you very much. At this time, I would like to invite our Group Managing Director to respond to various questions on 2020 audited financial statement laid before shareholders, but let's first make the following comments.
Okay, good. All right. I hope it's still morning.
If you stand up, you won't be.
Okay, sorry. I hear. All right. Good morning, distinguished shareholders and directors and regulators that are here present. Incidentally, we have only received commendations at this meeting. Yes, the company secretary had announced that we had some questions which we had attended to at management level before this meeting. Therefore, it's appropriate for me to say thank you to our distinguished shareholders for their confidence in us as management and staff, and also the board. Thank you to our various regulators, particularly the National Insurance Commission, who are our primary regulators. As the chairman rightly said in his statement, last year was particularly very challenging, but with the help of God and help of the board and all and sundry, we were able to navigate very successfully. We are aware of a couple of companies that recorded very poor and negative results in terms of profitability, but that hasn't been our lot. We're positive in our profitability, and in fact, we grew on most of, if not all of the key parameters. Of course, the effect of COVID-19 is still very much with us. We are therefore trying to strengthen every aspect of the business so that we can do better than what we did last year, results of which we are considering at this meeting. I'd like to particularly commend the primary regulator, the National Insurance Commission. As we are all aware, this company had to engage in capital raising exercise on account of the fact that the industry was undergoing recapitalization. But that had to be halted or put on hold due to some issues that cropped up along the line. In particular, there were some legal challenges here and there. But I want to believe we're getting to the end. Delay had been because the courts have been on some stay at home. We hope that is called off soon, and whatever is holding back that process will be off the table, and we'll be back. But let me assure all shareholders that with all gratitude to you for all of the support, you started very early coming with the rights issue, and that rights issue adequately positioned your company or our company as having met the first milestone in the recapitalization agenda as announced by NICOM. Ordinarily, as at 31st of December 2020, all operating companies in the class of business we run, which is general insurance, were expected to have a paid-up capital of 5 billion, and that we, as CHI, had exceeded before the deadline, notwithstanding that the regulator could not proceed as initially or originally intended. I believe that when the coast is clear, whatever is the way forward, your company is in a better stead today to meet all of that. So I'd like to thank, on behalf of management, thank the board, and thank all shareholders, and indeed all regulators who have been supporting us, navigating us to do well. The SEC have been very upbeat with respect to corporate governance, and we are grateful to you. And I think we just continue to march on the right path, and hoping that in the future we declare better results. So thank you. That would be my comment for now. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. In the absence of further questions, may I invite the registrars to explain the procedure for voting throughout the meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and our esteemed shareholders. Please be informed that we have captured the result, the voting result of the proxies received, which total 442, having 7,962,238,107 units of Consolidated Hallmark PLC shares, which represent 73.45% of the total shareholding of the company. So as each resolution is proposed and seconded, the vote cards will be displayed, and we will announce the result. Then the chairman will now declare the results as has been announced by us. Thank you.
Thank you. Approval of accounts. May I at this point invite a member to propose the following motion: that the company's audited financial statement, including its consolidated statement of financial position and consolidated statement of comprehensive income as at 31st December 2020, and the report of the Board of Directors and Auditors thereon be and are hereby approved. Let me repeat the motion, please. May I at this point invite a member to propose the following motion: that the company's audited financial statement, including its consolidated statement of financial position and consolidated statement of comprehensive income as at 31st December 2020, and the report of the Board of Directors and Auditors thereon be and are hereby approved.
I, Francis Udubo, wish to move the motion that the company's audited financial statement, including its consolidated statement of financial position and consolidated statement of comprehensive income as at 31st December 2020, and the report of the Board of Directors and Auditors therein be and hereby approved. I so moved.
Thank you. Will a shareholder second this motion?
My name is Bola Temo. I hereby second the motion as proposed by the gentleman, by Mr. Dubo. I hereby second that motion.
Thank you very much. Will the registrar please announce the results of the votes cast?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the resolution to approve the financial statement for the year ended 31st December 2020, together with the reports of the directors, the auditors, and the audit committee thereon, we received votes from shareholders and proxies, 442, having 7,962,238,107 units of consolidated hallmark shares, which represents 73.45% of the total shareholding of the company. For this resolution, it was 100% vote. There was no vote against, and there is no abstention. Thank you.
Thank you. Go on to item 7 on re-election of directors. Okay, sorry. I hereby declare the motion carried. In our presence, you have Mr. Sonny Wosu. Would you like to say something?
Mr. Chairman, good morning, and happy very raining day. Since yesterday, it's been raining. We all know that in Lagos, once there is rain, the traffic will be distorted. It's been very tough, but I'm happy that I'm able to meet the meeting. Fellow shareholders and regulators, good morning too. Good. I would have actually been very sad if I did not have opportunity to say something at this meeting, because most of what is happening today affects mostly the small shareholders, not the big shareholders like Honora and others sitting down there. Looking through the account, which we have also reviewed and sent down to the management to go through. But there are certain things that we have to emphasize on in order for the thousands of shareholders which I am representing, along with with other shareholders that are proxies that are representing. I looked into the account. Incidentally, the interim dividend declared is being paid today, which is like keeping our mouth shut. But of course, Sonny Wosu's mouth can never be shut. If you look at the structure of the company in itself, it has peers in one or two companies quoted on the stock exchange, which is also doing insurance company business. And you will see that they separated insurance business from other businesses. So what I'm saying very clearly is that
our company is matured to operate a whole company so that we can, along the line, develop the other segment, the finance company and all this and that. Knowing fully well that the insurance regulators do not take those as part of the capital for insurance. I don't know. The MD was a leading partner in the arrangement within the NICOM that can say that, but I know a few years ago they don't even allow investment in property to form the capital. And that's why some of these companies are separating the finance sector, the estate sector, which brings in money into the coffer of the HMOs, so that we can empower you to look into having a group structure in place. And that will really help us and help the MD, because we would have given a tax to those heading all these segments of the investment to bring in something. So I would like us to look at it. Another thing that actually agitated my mind today for the passion that we have in Consolidated Hallmark Insurance PLC is to find out how far have we gone with the recapitalization, knowing fully well that your regulators, especially your regulator in NICOM, is touting September as the last date for the recapitalization. And I looked through the account. We still have some 1 or 2 billion naira to complete the cycle of recapitalization, even though I do not believe in that recapitalization, because I don't know what the insurance sector in general needs 10 billion naira for, neither for the life 8 billion, 10 billion and 8 billion. I do not know what they really want it for. Since we are not even selling mostly on credit, it's money for hand, back for ground. So I think if the managers cannot get them to change their mind, we have tried our best to help them to meet up with all these things. So it is very important for us to know where we are in all these insurance companies that we are very passionate about. The court case is progressing. We do not know what will come out of the court, and therefore we should start talking with all these people to understand that coronavirus and both stage 1, 2, and 3 has actually set back the economy of the whole world, you know, whereby we can raise money to recapitalize. I want to believe what my father told me, that if you come to the wrestling ground in the afternoon, you will not know where to hold. But these are two very passionate things that continue to agitate my mind, which I said I will manage to push at this AGM for us to hear the management or the board on what they have done. Apart from that, you have strived and you have tried your best in the economic situation we found ourselves. But when you call a dividend an interim, there must be a final. So there must be a final. You say it's interim, there must be a final. We look forward to, of course, the year is gone, so it then means again that that interim becomes the final on this annual report, and we must do everything to ratify that as final, while we are looking forward to interim and final for the coming year. Mr. Chairman, I want to thank you for giving me this special opportunity to speak, and I want to thank the entire board, management, and staff of Consolidated Hallmark Bank for at least giving us something.
PLC, not bank, we're not a bank.
No, sorry, I'm used to.
You're dealing with a lot of big banks.
No, maybe if you look at this structure, there is financial aspect there.
Okay.
So maybe that's why I'm attributing the pledge of bank to you, and maybe one day you will also have a bank, because in advanced country, it's insurance companies that owns banks.
Yes.
It's only here that we look down on insurance companies. And if NICOM, NICOM is here, what's this? Oh, so you know you are giving us a wrong information. There's nothing like NSC again, it's NGX. That's why I look and ask her. But the fact is that NICOM herself rather, have not actually helped our investment. And the reason is not far-fetched. The reason is like in Central Bank, the second round of banks that came up. We know a lot of them who were assistant director and all this and that in Central Bank that came up to manage these new banks during Babangida time. They all failed because regulators are not operational people. They are only theoretical people. So NICOM should take a lead from there, that you have to look at things passionately before you do, because bring out anybody from NICOM to manage an insurance company, that insurance company will fail woefully. It's very obvious. Today, we are weeping child. That's why I look at NGX. Our shares, insurance sector, is the least priced shares. And this was issue that we fought. I personally was in forefront, that don't remove nominal value from insurance. If anybody want to buy insurance at 1 kobo, let it be a personal arrangement with whoever is interested in it. They removed it. And immediately they removed it, the insurance sector start dropping. And that's why we are seeing 20 kobo. And they have not changed the policy of nominal value. Nominal value in the capital market remained 50 kobo. And now, they're also bringing up another one that will be 1 naira. In the past, it used to be uniform. I have never seen a policy changing the nominal value from 50 kobo to 20 kobo. So these are our problems, these two people. There are problems in the capital market. This young man and this young lady may not know anything, but their leadership. And for punishing us, they too will receive their punishment. It's as simple as that. Mr. Chairman, thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wosu. Thank you very much, Mr. Wosu. Sir Sonny Wosu. I apologize. Thank you very much. We'll move on to the re-election of directors. Before we move on to the next item on the agenda, which is the re-election of directors retiring by rotation, I would like to disclose that in accordance with Section 2781 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, that Dr. Life Portono is over 70 years of age. Now to the re-election of directors retiring by rotation in accordance with Section 285 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020. I have been informed by the Company Secretary that Dr. Life Portono is due to retire by rotation at this meeting. In accordance with the company's articles of association, I hereby call on Dr. Life Portono to indicate his willingness or otherwise to offer himself for re-election. Are they going to be? Yeah.
Exercise on that. You don't call on candidates to come and at the AGM. But it's already. So what you just need to do is to ask for Sorry, Mr. Chairman. I was told that I must use mic because of recorder. You don't need to call lie to come and indicate, because the directors, before putting him for re-election, he has gone through all the rudiment of that.
Okay.
So what we require at this meeting is for you to move that lie be and is hereby bam.
Okay.
And you get a seconder, so the registrars will now do their job on it.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So, E now. Now that the director retiring by rotation has indicated his willingness to present himself for re-election, I therefore move that Dr. Lai Fortuna, being director retiring by rotation, and having presented himself for election at this meeting in accordance with the company's Articles of Association, be and is hereby re-elected as a director of the company. Can a shareholder please second the motion? Okay. Sasson, okay.
You have to be mobile. Mr. Chairman, my name is Sasson Imosu. I move that Lai be re-elected a director.
Thank you very much. Will registrar please announce the results of the votes cast?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the resolution to re-elect Dr. Lai Fortuna, we received 442 shareholders appropriate votes, having 7,962,238,107 units of Consolidated Hallmark Insurance PLC shares, representing 73.45% of the total shareholding of the company. They all voted for the resolution. There was no vote against, and there is no abstention. Thank you.
Thank you. I hereby declare the motion carried. I wish to thank shareholders for re-electing Dr. Lai Fortuna as the director of our company. Reappointment of external auditors. The next item on the agenda is the reappointment of the external auditors. SIAO Chartered Accountants served as auditors to the company for the accounting year ended 31st December 2020 and has indicated its willingness to continue to render services to the company. May I hereby move that SIAO Chartered Accountants continue service as auditors to the company be and is hereby approved. Can a shareholder please second the motion?
My name is Omar Odo Tadafe. I hereby second the motion.
Thank you very much. Will registrar please announce results of the votes cast?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the resolution to reappoint the auditors, we received 442 votes from shareholders and proxies having 7,962,238,107 units of Consolidated Hallmark Insurance PLC shares, which represents 73.45% of the total shareholding of the company. All votes received, all the votes cast were in favor of this resolution. There is no vote against, and there is no abstention. Thank you.
Thank you. I hereby declare the motion carried. Authorization. The next item on the agenda is for the directors to determine the remuneration of the auditors. May I hereby move that the directors be and are hereby authorized to determine the remuneration of the auditors for the accounting year ending 31st December 2021. Can a shareholder please second the motion?
My name is Francis Udubo. I hereby second the motion for the directors to determine the remuneration of the auditors 2021.
Thank you. Will the register please announce the results of the votes cast?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the resolution to authorize the directors to determine the remuneration of the auditors, we received 442 votes from shareholders and proxies, having 7,962,238,107 units of Consolidated Hallmark Insurance PLC shares, representing 73.45% of the total shareholding of the company. They all voted for the resolution. There was no vote against, and there is no abstention. Thank you.
Thank you. I hereby declare the motion carried. Next item on the agenda is the disclosure of the remuneration of the managers of our company in line with Section 257 of Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020. Please refer to page 113 of the Annual Report 2020 for the full details and disclosure of the remuneration of the managers of our company. Would any shareholder like to ask any questions or make any comment? In the absence of any question or comment, I will proceed to the next item on the agenda. The next item on the agenda is the membership of the Audit Committee. The Company Secretary has advised that by virtue of Section 4043 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, the membership of the Audit Committee has slightly changed and is now made up of 2 non-executive directors and no longer 3, while the representatives of the shareholders remain 3. For the 2020 financial year, the Board of Directors has resolved to nominate Mr. Shuaibu Idris, Mrs. Bola Odekele as the Director of the Audit Committee. I am further informed by the Company Secretary that nominations were received from shareholders to elect Dr. Tony Anoniai, Chief Simon Okoitororo, and Chief James Emadoye as shareholders' representatives on the Audit Committee. She confirms that nominations were received at least 21 days before this meeting in compliance with Section 4046 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020. I hereby call for a motion to elect the 3 nominated shareholders representatives, together being that there is no other nomination. I'll go next.
I hereby move the motion for the election of Dr. Tony Anoyai, Chief Simon Okoitororo, and Chief James Emadoye as shareholders' representatives on the Audit Committee.
That's not me here. Yeah. So that I hereby move that Dr. Tony Anoniai, Chief Simon Okoitororo, and Chief James Emadoye be and are hereby elected as shareholder representatives on the Audit Committee of the company. Will a shareholder please second this motion?
I, Francis Udubo, hereby second the motion that they be so elected.
Thank you. The elected representatives of shareholders and directors in the Audit Committee are therefore Dr. Tony Anoniai, Chief Simon Okoitororo, Chief James Emadoye, Mr. Shuaibu Idris, Mrs. Bola Odekele. I hereby declare the motion carried. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the ordinary business of the general meeting as defined by Section 238 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020. We now move to consider the special business. I hereby invite the shareholder to propose the following motion. The annual fees of the chairman and other directors of the company for 2021 be on the same basis as in 2020. That's not correct. That's not correct. We changed it. The annual fees, we changed it now.
Not on the same basis.
It's not on the same basis.
I, Omar Odo Tadafe, so propose the motion as read out by the chairman.
Okay. Can the shareholder kindly second the motion?
Olatemo is my name.
So Sonny was he want to second it?
Yeah. My name is Bolatemo. I hereby second that motion.
No, wait. Sonny is raising his hand.
Mr. Chairman, sir.
Yes.
Without prejudice to what Bola has just said, now, this item has to do with director's fee. Am I right?
Yes. Right, Rookie, right? Yes.
Director's fee?
Yes.
Okay. Now, can you just enlighten us? How much is the director's fee?
Okay. So I just mentioned that the total is 8 million. The total director's fees is 8 million naira.
That is for non-executive directors?
Yes.
Okay. Can you please further break it down? They have to. The fee.
The total director's fee, annual director's fee is 8 million naira for non-executive directors. For the chairman is 2 million. For others is 1.5 million per annum.
1.5.
Totaling 8 million.
Okay. How many?
There are 5 in number.
How many non-executive directors?
There are 5 in number.
5 in number.
Yes.
Okay. My opinion is that on this, is that we need to encourage our directors. We need to encourage them. I'm not going to say any figure, but we need to encourage them so that this company will match some other companies within her level, so that they will work and ensure that better result is achieved. So that's my opinion, Mr. Chairman. That's why I'm asking these questions. I know the fee has nothing to do with other entitlements. Whereas the fee is what comes to the AGM for approval, which you call remuneration of directors. So as shareholder and representing shareholders like some other people here, we want you to look into it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We appreciate your comments, Asoni also. Will the registrar please announce the results of the votes cast?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the resolution to approve the remuneration of the directors, we received 442 votes from shareholders and proxies having 7,962,238,107 units of Consolidated Hallmark Insurance PLC shares. This represents 73.45% of the total shareholding of the company. All the votes cast were for this resolution. There was no vote against, and there is no abstention. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hereby declare the motion carried. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the business of the general meeting. Thank you all for your attendance and active participation at this meeting. I hereby declare that the 26th Annual General Meeting of Consolidated Hallmark Insurance PLC be formally brought to a close. May we call on Mr. Francis Udubo to lead us in a closing prayer, please.
Let us pray. Almighty and eternal God, we thank you for guiding us through this meeting. We pray that you escort all of us back home. May you continue to give wisdom to the board and the management of Consolidated Hallmark so that they will continue to make progress and increase the profitability of the company. As we live here, Lord, let us get home in peace. We ask this through Christ our Lord.
Amen. Remain standing for the national anthem. Thank you.